Welcome to Sew and Tell, where sewists from fashion, theater, and indie sewing bring their different perspectives to the hottest topics in the sewing community. I'm Kate Zaynard.
I'm Meg Healy.
And I'm Amanda Carestio.
Today on the podcast, we are talking all things color. Your top picks, your least faves, color ruts, color seasons, plus a fun challenge for your spring sewing. It's going to be so much fun. But before we jump in, how is everybody doing? How was your 1 hour less weekend?
Ugh.
I had a fantastic weekend. And of course, during the weekend, the time change didn't affect me that much. Yesterday, which was Monday,
yes,
was very hard.
Brutal.
Yes.
So brutal. The morning, it was so hard getting up.
So dark.
And my poor cats, they're so attuned to our schedule, and you could see them just kind of like lifting their heads like, what are you doing getting up an hour early? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get over that whole thing.
Yeah, my kids have been grumpy all week, and I expect that to continue for like a month while we get adjusted.
Ugh,
it takes a long time.
I feel like as a kid it didn't take so long, but nowadays it's just like, it takes you forever.
Did anyone sew anything this weekend?
I did a little bit of sewing. I was working on a blouse. I think it's going to be my last long sleeve make before I jump into kind of more spring and summer type sewing, because I'm really ready for it. I feel like we still have a good solid 2-ish months of cool weather in Colorado.
Yeah.
You can just pretty much bank on that, but I'm willing it into existence, the warm weather. I am so ready.
Well, we're having some nice weather here in Colorado this week.
I just know it won't stay.
Right.
I forget every spring, and then I'm surprised.
Yes. I did not do any sewing this weekend. I have family in town, and I was spending all my time with them. How about you, Meg?
Nice. No, I didn't do any sewing either. We had a lot of TV to catch up on, and sometimes it's stressful because there's those shows where, I don't know if you have this, but there's shows that like you watch, and then there's shows that like your husband watches, but then there's shows that you watch together, and if you watch one without the other, there's like... So we had a lot because I was at my parents' last week, and so we had lots of together shows to catch up on. So we did that.
Sounds exhausting.
Yeah, actually, it sounds lovely to me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was really nice. But we split it up with some nice long walks because the weather was really nice, and we did laundry. It was just like a nice catch up weekend, and got me ready for the week. So that I am.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's great.
Well, shall we jump on in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm so excited.
All right. As sewists, we probably think more about color than the average person, and for good reason, because we are artists. We're never stuck in that moment in the store when we find something we love and we say, oh, if only it was in this other perfect color, because we can just make things in the exact color we want. So I am so excited to talk about color with you guys. I want to hear your favorites, your least favorites, where you get stuck, and how experimental you are. So let's dive in with color.
Yay!
First off, I'm guessing you all have a favorite color, and I want to know what it is.
Well, I mean, mine's very well known. Lime green, any shade of green.
Any shade of green? Okay.
Yeah, I like neon green. It's probably my favorite. Or lime green. Lime neon green, yeah.
What about you, Kate?
I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, well, I mean, there's yellow and green and purple and pink and aquas. I like a lot of colors.
All the colors?
All the colors. I have to say, I tend to like colors without a lot of browns in them. So I tend to like them to be kind of more pure, light, vivid, anything in that range, but not super muddy, not super earthy. That's kind of how I prefer them. But you give me a nice clear, basically anything, and I'm like, woo. So. Yes, all the colors are my favorite colors. But I will say for the record, that like half the stuff I own is pink. So there you go.
My children would not be okay with your answer because they require you to pick one.
If your children were here, I would tell them it was pink, and just
all
not
right.
go into all the details.
Okay. My favorite color is also green. That is what I tell my kids, and that's the color that I stick to. We have alliances around favorite colors at our house. It's very complicated.
It's for game playing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's for game playing.
And teams, gotta have the green team. So on a slightly different note, is your favorite color the same favorite color for you to sew and wear, or is it different?
For me, I don't really have a favorite color to sew. I sew all the colors. I was sitting here yesterday thinking about it, and I could literally go through the rainbow and name off something in every single category that I have sewn in the past 3 years. And so, yes, they're the same. All the colors.
All the colors.
I don't know. I think actually going through my fabric and my closet, I actually don't have that many lime green things. I mean, I gravitate to, if I'm deciding between one, two, I go, oh, which one's more green? Does this print have a green leaf in it? Or does, so, but I guess I mean, I usually do always use that as my base, but I don't have a ton, it's not screaming, am I looking at my closet lime green, but there's definitely you can notice it if it's not all of it, but I gravitate, but I don't always sew it. But yeah.
Well, as you guys know, my Instagram handle is Pop of Neutral.
Yeah.
And so that pretty much sums me up. I'm definitely a neutrals person.
Yeah.
And I do sew a good bit of green stuff, but I also sew a lot of black. And I wouldn't say black is my favorite color, but I do like to sew with black, and I like to wear black. So it's a little bit different than my favorite color, big picture speaking. So how do you feel when you are wearing your favorite color, or a color that is really speaking to you in the moment? Does it make you feel a certain way?
Do you want me to sing? Because I'm about to sing I Feel Pretty.
No singing loud.
Okay.
There's plenty of that at my house.
All right. Well, wearing my favorite color makes me feel happy and pretty and happy.
Yeah.
So.
Do you feel like your favorite color is what you look best in?
All the colors?
Mm-hmm.
Not all of the colors. Some of the colors.
I'm just curious about the emotional and psychological effects of.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of a hard question, because since my answer is I like all of them, I look better in some colors than others, and I do like the way I look in the brighter colors, I think, and pastels, and so to some extent that's a yes to that. But, some colors are not as flattering as others, and I just kind of embrace them anyway because I like colors.
I like it. How about you, Meg?
Well, I feel really proud when I'm wearing my favorite color, neon green, because I just feel like I'm just showing it we've had a really long relationship. I've had my moments where I've really worn it well, going when I was younger in school, and now as I'm an adult, I don't wear it as much, but I'm really proud when I do, and I'm like, oh, here you go, lime green or a neon green, and I don't know, it just makes me happy and proud. And people usually sometimes when I don't wear green, I get people that are noticing. And so sometimes it's a little bit of pressure being like, oh, Meg, what, you're not wearing any green today. There's been moments, and then then I overthink my outfits, and I always have to have at least one thing green on so I can be like, oh no, at least my socks are green or something. So sometimes it's anxiety inducing when you are known to have a favorite color for so long.
It's like your branding, Meg. It's like your signature color.
Exactly.
But I could see how that could cause some pressure.
The pressure's on, but I guess I just embrace it more. As an adult, I'm embracing it a lot more in my home decor. and my dishes and like if you see my kitchen, like every spatula is green, and you know, like the little things as an adult, and I'm expressing it more as in less of what I wear, because I guess I don't look as good in the vibrant lime greens. I look more good in like a warmer green, which isn't always my favorite, but I still like it, you know. So but happy and proud is what
color are your eyes, Meg?
They're blue.
They're blue?
Yeah.
I was going to guess green.
No, they're not. I wish I had green eyes. My cousins had green eyes when I was little. I was so jealous.
That's funny. That's funny.
I just want to jump in with a very quick story.
Yeah.
Earlier today, we were in a staff meeting, and in the middle of it, Meg was talking about how she was working on a jumpsuit pattern for us. And she's like, "Oh, so I'm wearing my lime green sequin jumpsuit right now."
Yeah, it was like really early in the morning for lime green sequins.
Yeah, and she's just, and she did. She sounded very proud. She's like,
and I just saluted her. It's like, I salute you, Meg.
Absolutely. It made me happy to stop and picture Meg in her lime green jumpsuit in this meeting.
I know, considering like the socks and sandals and the freshly shiny washed face I had, and it was great because I was doing some adaptions to the pattern, so I wanted to see how it. I don't know. I'm just so like tactile. I needed it on so I could see where I needed to adjust. Yeah, so I just kept it on for a little bit.
Yeah,
put it on. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, Kate, thanks for. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, it just made me giggle.
That's so funny. Well, I would have to say, like, getting back to how your favorite color makes you feel.
Yeah.
And thinking about the color black, and I feel like I did a post recently on Instagram because I do tend to make a lot of basics in black.
Yeah.
They're very wearable. I love black. I think it makes me feel kind of defined. Like it's kind of a little bit of maybe armor or something like that. But I also, I did a post a while back on Instagram just to say, like, I love black. I'm not trying to like slim myself or hide myself or make any statements other than this is the color that I feel good in, because I do think that people have those assumptions about black clothing.
Yeah.
And for me, I remember we went to this an exhibit at the Denver Art Museum, and it was featuring Japanese fashion designers, and there was I don't remember the exact context of it, but it was something like, so one of the designers, there was a quote about all the different shades of black and like the meaning behind that, and I was like, that's so really deep and really interesting and really true. And I don't know, over the years, I've just kind of drifted that direction. And I don't know, it's definitely like a powerful color for me. So I love wearing it. And I feel like it's also good for not getting super dirty, or at least being able to hide it. Although since getting a cat, it's a little bit more dicey.
Only the white hairs, though.
Only the white hairs.
Yeah, it depends on the animal hair color for sure. Yeah,
you got to coordinate.
No, one of my cats is orange, and you can always tell if I snuggled him in my black before I go to work.
Love it. I love it.
So I've got like a layer of orange fur on me.
Yeah. Oh, I love black too. It's probably my next color that I wear the most. I remember I was wearing speaking of how you feel like more refined. There's something about black too. I remember I was sitting, Julia and I were about to go out somewhere, and I was sitting with like a black turtleneck, and I was wearing like black glasses, and my hair was like freshly straight bobbed and cut, and he goes, "You look like such like an art girl, like someone who would just be like," and I was like, "What?" And he just said like that turtleneck, that black turtleneck.
Yeah.
You look so artsy. And
kind
I was
of
like,
iconic.
"Oh, yeah." It was just funny. Just that made me think of that.
So I mentioned, I think that black has not always been my favorite color to wear, but I found myself kind of drifting that way over the years. What about you guys? Was there a time in your life when you had a different favorite color to sew and wear, or just to wear?
I feel like I've always worn a large number of colors. Like I've always had a range in my closet. There was a point in my life where I would just have said purple is my favorite color, period, end of story.
I mean, I thought that's what it was currently. So
Yeah,
I was
I thought you were
wrong.
going to say purple.
I was wrong.
Well, see, there you go. You guys know me as a child, I guess, in some deep level. But there actually was a very long part of my life, a fairly large part of my life, when I wore black all the time.
Yeah.
Because I was working backstage in a theater, and
I
that's
could
what
see
you
that.
wear. And
right.
so I just had all of these clothes that were black, and that's kind of what I wore. And it was funny. I remember I told my mom once, my aunt had asked me about what kind of things I liked. And my mom says, oh, right now it's just all black. You should get her black things. And so she got me this beautiful all black jewelry. And I'm like,
Oh.
that was unexpected, but okay. So it's
Nice.
this like big butterfly necklace out of like black metal, like painted black. And I mean, it's lovely. It's not exactly what I meant, because usually you don't want to wear big heavy jewelry when you're when you're running a show. But it was a very nice thought.
I think it's weird. It's like I'm not steering towards another color. I'm just steering toward, like, if I make something green, it's like usually like solid. But I was just like peeking over at my closet, and I've just been really steering towards a print florals. I have so many floral things that I've made. I look at my fabric stash, and there are so many florals, and so I'm like, oh, like I just gravitate to floral fabrics and making floral things. Like, yeah. So I think. Or a mustard yellow. I had a really big mustard yellow moment a little while ago. I love it. Really, with red hair, and my skin tone, mustard yellow looks really, really good on me. So, yeah. So that's mustard yellow and floral.
Yeah, I think I went through a pretty big blue phase there, especially when I was like starting back again. And I feel like blue is a pretty universal color when it comes to clothing for people.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty common and well-liked color. What about the flip side? Are there any colors that you do not or will not sew with?
I don't sew a lot of white simply because it's
not
so
very
easy to get
practical.
it dirty,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's particularly flattering to me. I'm pale-skinned enough that white's just really not great on me. Even my wedding dress was somewhat off-white. So that's my major thing. I'm also not a huge fan of brown, and so I don't sew a lot of browns.
Yeah. For me, it's like teal. I like light blues and teals. I just, I hate. I don't know. There's like a turquoisey, teal-y thing. I really, really don't like that. And I never sew with it, and I never wear it. And I just, I don't know.
Not your fave.
Not your fave.
Definitely, have found myself steering clear of like reds and pinks and
yeah.
purples. Because I think they're just really, those are kind of the more like what I would think of traditional feminine colors. And I don't know, they just don't appeal to me. And I think red is just hard for me to wear. I feel like it's kind of hard for a lot of people to wear. Like you have to find your right shade of red.
I don't wear a lot of red. I have a few things in red, but it's not really at the top of my list. I feel like it's a little bit too much fire engine, look at me.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily what I want out of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like blue reds and there's like orange reds. I can wear orange reds, but a blue-based red is I can't. I don't like those.
On the other hand, I cannot wear an orange red because it looks really orange on me. I have to wear the blue reds.
Interesting.
Yes, I have struggled much of my life trying to find a red lipstick that does not look terrible on me. Because I need to find a bluer one.
Because that's the main thing about red. It's like the lipstick, It's when you're trying to find that red lipstick, you can,
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I need major help in that department. I cannot find lipstick that I like at all. That being said, do you ever break your own rules and kind of experiment outside the box? I feel like you guys, it sounds like you do.
Well, Was just writing a blog post on my Vienna wardrobe, the one that was based around my brown coat.
Yeah,
and largely
brown.
featured brown and things that went with brown. And, you know, like my dark red top, which was one of my favorites. And yeah, I 100% will do it if there's a reason for it. If something catches my fancy.
Do you think, did the fabric inspire that, or was it a conscious decision?
It was the fabric.
Yeah.
I really liked
Right.
it. It was the fabric on the coat. And then I found the fabric on the coat, liked it, bought it, made the coat out of it, looked at the coat, said, okay, I need a whole wardrobe to go around this. And that's how it happened.
Yeah, it's interesting how certain colors can just take on a different life form if you might not like it, but the certain fabric you see it in, it just totally changes. Yeah, your mind. It could be. Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely think. Well, I sew a bunch of random stuff. I don't know. I always like trying something new. I mean, yeah.
I love that. I was thinking.
How about you? Yeah.
I feel like I used to be more experimental with color when I was buying more ready-to-wear clothing. Because then I think you just have to kind of, like we were talking about earlier, you kind of have to settle for it.
Compromise.
But then you might, try on something that you would normally, you wouldn't want to commit to in terms of fabric and actually making something from it. But, you can be surprised in that way. Whereas I think, being super intentional with your sewing and knowing what you like can lead to less of those like happy accidents and discoveries.
Yeah, that was actually a really cool thing about the Vienna wardrobe is it did kind of push me to look for colors that go well with brown, which I never do. So I ended up sewing a couple of colors that I very rarely sew. It was very interesting.
And I will say, I sew a lot with black, but there's like looking at my closet, there is quite a variety in there. It's just, I feel like
many shades of olive green.
Many shades of olive green and
burnt orange.
And tan. Lots of burnt orange. I feel like last fall and summer I was like on a burnt orange kick.
Yeah, you did sew a lot of burnt orange.
I did.
I love that.
When I sit here and I think about your wardrobe, I think olive green, black, and burnt orange.
Nice.
Yes, I think exactly. The olive green.
Neutral.
And like muddy Dijon. Those are my favorites.
A nice little grainy Dijon.
Exactly, gritty.
I like a French's. Yeah. Like a bright, like basic mustard.
I'm definitely in the Grey Poupon area.
There's this dill mustard that's like slightly green that's sold at the market, and that's like so like your color.
I love it. You gotta send me something. Send me some.
I'm gonna bring you some next
time.
Please do. It's actually delicious as well.
Mine is the color that's just all dye.
The rainbow.
It's all dye.
Nice.
So it's just bright yellow.
I love it. Nice. Do you ever feel, I probably know the answer to this question, stuck by your color selections and predictable and have a hard time getting out of that?
No.
I
don't know where I would go if I got out of my typical color selections. What else is there?
All the neutrals.
You're right.
Come
all
on
the
over.
Neutrals. Come over to the neutral side.
What about you, Meg?
Honestly, I feel really bad. Like, since, again, I've had a very long relationship with lime green, I feel guilty and I feel like I'm cheating on lime green if I steer too far. If there is a choice between, if I'm looking for a certain like fabric and there's a green option, I have to get, like, that's like my thing. I just have to get that. But if there's not, then I'll go with something else. So my like gut feeling is if it's available in green, you have to get green.
That's so complicated.
I know, it's like, it honestly gives me a pit even thinking about it now. But I mean, I love it so much. It's like, it's just such a, I don't know. I'm literally feeling my sequin, like lime green fabric right next to me right now. I'm
I won't cheat on you, lime green.
But it feels like when I was shopping I knew I needed to make a sequin jumpsuit for my sequin webinar, and I was looking at red sequins, and then I saw the green, and I said, now that I've seen the green, I have to get it, or else it'll like it knows that I can't even explain it, guys. It's so weird.
It's I love it.
Anyways.
I always find myself, like I was doing some aspirational online fabric shopping. I
Oh,
mean,
yes.
always. And I'm always like, ooh, I love this one. I'm going to pick this for this dress. And then I like to kind of take a moment to take stock of what I already have. And I am forever just like, oh, wait, I
my God.
already have a
Yeah.
dress that's similar in black and white print. Like, I'm always finding myself in that moment. And I mean, I do try to branch out sometimes. Like my heart is already set on something, but I always, it's like I don't know, subconsciously repeating things that I already have and love when I'm trying to make new and different things. So, but yeah, I feel like I've got a lot of rules for myself when it comes to color because some colors just really don't feel like me, I think.
Yeah.
It's like I can't really explain it much more past that, except they just don't feel like me. So, and maybe that's just how the world works. I did want to jump over and talk about, there are a couple of exciting things happening right now in the Instagram world. This March is the hashtag #SewHappyColor2020, also known as Wear Happy Color 2020. That is hosted by Katie Cortman, who is, I like to think of her as the queen of color, and she's also a Sew News designer, but she is hosting this, and every week there's a different color challenge. So it's perfect if you are listening to this and want to hop into that. It's really interesting way to think about color as you're getting dressed, and really fun. There's also, of course, the hashtag Dress Like a Crayon challenge, which I still have not jumped in on. And I don't think there's that one just a hashtag. It's kind of an ongoing challenge. You can hop in whenever you want. I always want to do that, and then I can never think of a way to make it look natural. But it's a fun one because I think it is good to kind of challenge yourself, especially if you find that you have a lot of rules for yourself that you are interested in kind of breaking out of. On the other side of color, and I've seen a lot of people doing this in the online sewing community, is really taking a deep dive into color analysis. Meg, do you want to walk us through that?
Sure. So if you've never heard of color analysis, it's kind of like your seasonal color palette that's based on your skin and hair tone. So sometimes it's not about your favorite color, what you wear and what you gravitate to, but it's the actual color that when it's next to your face, what you wear near your face best suits your features and actually brings out, it doesn't make you look washed out. So I remember when I was in high school, I went to an arts high school, and there was like a fashion history class, and it was part of that was we did as a fun game, we did our colors, and my teacher had this set of colors like in person, and we got into pairs, and then we each did our colors, and you hold, like, it was like big squares of colors, and then it's so amazing to see. You hold up a color to someone and then you switch it, and you see the face change. Like the one could make them look sickly, and then one, it just like their eyes pop. So it's like really crazy when you actually do wear your colors, how it just makes your cheeks like it brings out the best in your tone. And I think it's so interesting. And I know it's so popular. I think it was in the 80s. I was telling my mom,
exactly,
like, we did our colors and my mom's like, there was like services that they would come, and all the girls would do their colors, and then Julian's mom was like, oh yeah, I did my colors, like I'm a winter, and like, and it's just like, I think it's so fascinating. And there's tons of online tools that you can use, or I'm sure you can even like order a kit, because I actually almost want to like order a kit and have a fun party with all my girlfriends, because I'm sure you can and do that. But I already know what I am. Did you guys do the quiz, or you know what you are, or there's different ways that you can do? I know, as Amanda, you showed one where you can actually upload a picture of yourself, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
that one is colorwise.mx. ME, and Courtney at S is for Sew has done a lot of work with that one, and she's created a little hashtag around it called Sew Your Palette based on color analysis. But that one's fun. You upload a picture and then you grab a little dropper and put it and grab your eye color and your hair color and your skin tone. So it's, I don't know, I like that because then I'm not the one who has to decide whether it's lighter, darker, clear, or soft.
Right. No, right. I know, Yeah. If you're doing it on someone, you're like, actually, this makes you look terrible. Like, to say it to someone's face. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess if you're if you're friends, they would all take it. I guess you can always hold it up in a mirror if you had that kit too. But So and then there's another one that I found. If you don't want to like upload your picture anywhere, there's this. The Lori Lou has a good one. Yep. I'll link it as well. And I like how it has like references so you can kind of see celeb pairings. I always like that. I know I always go to, there's always the Julianne Moore option. And I know that she had her own red color of lipstick and it was perfect. I was like, oh, she had her like own line with Revlon, I think, or something way back. And I always like a celeb pairing. I think it's good. But let me know. Have you guys, what are your colors? What are your seasons, I guess I should say?
I did the one that you shared, Meg, and I got autumn. And then, and then it was like, I think I was down in the soft autumn category. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I never trust them because they require me to make selections. And I don't know. It's like, are my veins green or blue?
That one was hard.
I'm like, they're greenish blue. Where's that option? You know? Right? And I also, I mean, I do love the theory behind it. I'm skeptical of it because I'm more about how do colors make you feel than
actually
But I do find it really interesting, and I think it is kind of nice to have some base understanding, because I think even before you do something like this, you know that there are certain colors that look best on you, and it's kind of nice to get some guidance around that if you want it. So what about you, Kate?
Well, I took the same quiz that you did, the one that Meg recommended, and the answer it gave me was warm spring, which is fine. But here's the problem, is that my skin is cool. I know this because of years of trying to wear lipsticks that were reddish orange and them looking like clown makeup on me.
Yeah.
So my skin is cool, maybe neutral to cool, but definitely in the cool range. My eyes are gray, so that's also one of the cool colors. But my hair is quite golden with a bit of a red overtone. So really, I've got a mixture of cool and warm on my face or on my head, and so I don't really quite fit into either category because like summer's the cool and spring is the warm, and then summer and fall, but I think I fall more into summer and spring. So it gave me warm spring, but I mean, is that accurate to my skin tone? I'm not sure.
Right.
So,
I know I guess that's what really comes into play when or even if you have like a bunch of fabrics, even you can just hold them up to your face. Like sometimes if you just, like you can just really see the difference. I guess it's a good guideline.
I think so. It's a good starting place.
I think that's probably where I need to start is to just sit there and hold stuff up. And we'll see if I ever care enough to do that, because mostly it's just like, oh, I like this color, I'm going to sew it.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Meg, what were you?
I'm in autumn.
I could have called that.
I remember even in high school, I was in autumn, and I think I'm more of, I don't think I'm a deep autumn. I'm not sure though, or a soft autumn. I guess I'm like, it honestly probably depends on, I switch from autumn here in the tones as to the season, because sometimes my hair color gets more deep and dark in the winter. I like to do it more auburn, and then I like to go copper in the summer. So but it's all and so it's really warm, kind of golden colors. I know sometimes I wear, like, my mom was always the one to point me. She loved everything color, and oh boy, did she point out when color didn't look good on me. I'm out of it.
Thanks,
I wore a gray, it would wash me out.
too.
Like I can't wear gray, or even like light beiges I can't wear on my top. I guess it's just really pertaining to the top garment too. Like you can wear whatever pants, it's just like whatever skirt, like
whatever's framing the face.
Whatever's framing the face. So so I'm in autumn. So I just think it's really interesting.
It's super interesting. I love it. Well, let's take a quick break and then come back for a super fun game.
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of scared.
I'm
scared.
All right. Now that we've talked about what all of our favorite colors to sew are, we have a fun game to challenge us to move out of our comfort zone. Are you guys ready to sew your roll?
Yay! I think.
Yay, I think. Okay. So, as some of you might know, I'm a bit of a geek and I like to play tabletop role-playing games. So, as a result, I have a lot of dice with more sides than 6, and we're going to use some of them right now. We have here, sitting next to me, a set of numbered lists that give us elements of a project. There's a list for color, a list for shade, and a list for design element. So, we're each going to roll a 12-sided die, or we're going to roll for Meg since she's not here. And then we're going to look at the corresponding number on each table to give us the details of a project. And once we have all 3 of them, we will know what we have to do for our project. We do have a rule that says that we can veto something if we really, really, really don't like it, but we're going to use that very, very judiciously, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get started. Who wants to go first?
Amanda, you go.
I'll go. I would just like to say that even the dice are perfectly picked for each person.
You know, this is actually really funny. Yesterday, I was playing a game with my friends, and so I had my dice in my car. And when we started talking about doing this, I went out to see which dice I had that were available so I could leave them here and make sure I didn't forget to bring them today. And I happened to have a lime green die, a rainbow pastel die, and a black and white die. And so that is what we were rolling.
So perfect. It was meant to be.
All right, Amanda, you want to go first?
I guess so.
Give it a good roll. Give it a good shake.
Ooh, you guys.
All right, color.
11.
You got gray.
Gray. Okay.
All right.
Whew. I'll have
Work
to,
with gray.
It's a hard color for me, so I'll have to figure out
what the right shade of gray
exactly
is.
how I'm going to make that my own.
Well, we'll see.
All right, next up, my shade.
Muted.
Muted
Ooh,
gray.
Muted gray.
Gray.
How is any gray not muted?
I don't know. I mean, I can see a muted gray. For me, it seems like a warmer gray.
Okay.
Maybe. All right,
design element.
Design element. 10.
10. A
tie. Ooh.
I love that. We actually have some really good hacks and sew news for doing ties. So I'm going to run with
being
this.
a really cute top, actually.
Yeah. I think this could actually be really cool. And it'll fit right into your black and white wardrobe.
Yeah, but it is. It's a color that I actually don't use very much. So I'm going to have to figure out how to make it work.
Awesome.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right, Amanda, do you want to roll for Meg?
I'll roll for Meg. I got the lime green dice here.
There
the
we
die.
go.
Whew, the pressure's on.
All right, color.
8.
Really?
What is that?
It's green.
Oh, it's green. Oh my God. I was looking already at the shade chart. Oh my God. No way. It's fate. It's fate, guys. It knows I can't stray.
It doesn't want you to cheat on it.
The lime green die.
All right.
Is with you.
this.
Let's see what shade you get.
Yes.
I hope it's something
Okay.
juicy.
Yeah.
I know.
11.
Neutral.
Oh.
Neutral green.
Oh.
Oh man, I
would
want
never.
that.
You want
Yeah.
Amanda.
I do. I mean, it's neutral, guys.
I mean, gray is neutral. You're fine.
It's true.
All
Okay,
right.
a neutral
design element.
Neutral green.
6. Buttons.
Oh, a neutral green top with
Ooh.
buttons.
That's like
Or
safari-esque. I'm thinking
Pants.
safari.
Oh, yeah, no, I guess you just said top, and I just have that in my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It
we're
could really
not
be anything.
Yeah, we're
You know
not
what?
saying what it has to be.
I know. You know what? I should do like something I'm gonna make it weird somehow.
Are you? I'm
don't
shocked.
I think it'll be a good challenge for you. Neutral green. That's like not lime green. Lime green is the least neutral
That's
green there
true.
is. So you're going to have to bring it down to my territory.
I know.
It's a challenge for sure.
It is.
All right, guys, it's my turn.
All right.
So my
Kate.
color roll is a 5. Black. Amanda, you got your wish.
Yay.
All right.
I love that.
I'm
Oh, that makes me happy.
I'm so interested to see what kind of shade I'm going to get on black and if I can actually pull it off. 1, bright black.
Ooh.
You know, bright might come down to like the fabric.
Yeah,
type,
I think
you
it's
know?
very
Like
much
something
about
sharp.
the
Like a shirting or something
Yeah,
that's
like a
just very saturated.
yeah.
Saturated, yes.
Bright black is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see.
Let's see.
And what about my design element? And rolling 6. Also buttons.
Ooh.
Maybe I could put bright buttons on my black.
Yeah.
Oh, it's open for interpretation.
Definitely.
Yes,
I
definitely.
think this is just for fun and
Yeah.
see how you can interpret the challenge. And I think maybe make it yours. I mean, the idea is kind of make something that's out of your comfort zone, but it should be something you will wear.
Yes.
So it should be like enough of your own vision that
Yes, definitely
you'll
put-
actually wear it.
do your best to make it in your style. Speaking of you, we want you to join us in our challenge and sew your roll too. We would like to encourage you to make your rolls if you want to participate by March 31st. And then you, like us, will have till April 30th to make your project. We're going to do a check-in partway through April. For us personally. So post a pic on Instagram using hashtag #SewYourRoll and tag us at SewAndTellPod, and we'll choose a random winner at the end of the challenge to win some lovely sewing prizes from us. So please join us in our challenge. Let's see, what are we doing? Everybody go through it again. Amanda.
I am doing gray muted with a tie.
Meg.
Neutral green with buttons.
And I am doing bright black, also with buttons.
Ooh.
So
The wheels are turning.
the wheels
I love it.
are turning. We will put our roll charts up on the internet. They'll be on our show notes page, and we'll put them up on Instagram as well so that you can do your rolling. And we'll also put some information up there on some options that you have if you don't happen to have a 12-sided die like I do. So we'll give you some info on how to work around that if you're interested in doing this, but you don't have the fancy dice. All right. So remember that hashtag is hashtag #SewYourRoll, and check out Sew and Tell Pod for more details.
Join us.
Join us.
Yeah.
Do our challenge
Join
with
us.
us.
Yeah. All right. So now we're all excited. I think all of our SewJos are just going to be what we just talked about, right?
Exactly.
Probably.
I know, eh? Oh, so we'll go into a little SewJo, and for those again, it's what is giving us our sewing mojo for the week. So why don't you, Amanda, kick us off? What's your SewJo?
Well, as I mentioned, I am sewing a blouse. That is probably going to be my last kind of cold weather make. I think I'm really ready to make the jump to summer, even though we have spring and summer, even though we have some cold weather left. But I was looking at my list for the summer, what I want to make, and it is hilarious, you guys. It is all jumpsuits. It is just all jumpsuits. I think I
love that.
I'm like they're so comfortable, and it's like I have enough basics. I want to make some more kind of statement, one of a kind pieces that are just super comfortable to wear. On that note, I'm on the hunt for a boiler suit pattern. So if you guys have any recommendations, if you at home have any recommendations, I'm on the hunt. I think I don't know what I want yet, which is part of the problem, but I'm kind of liking that look, and I've got some fabrics that will play well with a little bit more structure. So send your
Nice.
recommendations my way.
Yeah, I think a couple news issues ago, my Get the Look was a leather boiler. Yeah, but I can't remember exactly which patterns so I'll have to look back and see which patterns were in that. But
Me too.
I love a boiler suit for sure. How about Kate? What's your SewJo?
Well, you guys, I am still in my sewing slump. I am feeling, I'm making some knitting progress.
Yeah?
I have a little special project that I'm working on, but I don't want to talk about it quite yet on the podcast. I want to actually do something with it instead of just thinking about it. So I'm going to say that my SewJo is my bright black buttony something. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm excited for what you make. Honestly,
Me too.
I am. Yeah.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh my gosh, never.
I'm sure it's not going to be that special.
No, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't see you wearing black a whole lot. So
I want to point out that I'm wearing black right now.
Yeah, you literally are wearing black right now. But it is
you're usually
unusual.
wearing all your favorite colors, which are
That's
all the
true.
colors. So
That's true. I've got a black cardigan that I wear pretty much constantly throughout the
What are you wearing underneath your cardigan?
purple and blue. And a bright print. Bright pink.
Yeah, that's more like it. When you open your cardigan, I'm like, there's Kate.
Yeah. I know, I had it kind of wrapped around me. I don't know why.
I know.
It's got little tiny plastic silver dots on it too, just so you know.
so
Meg.
extra.
Are they bright dots?
They're bright silver, I guess.
Oh, there you go. I'm just trying to pull in some brightness.
Brightness.
Bright inspiration for you.
Yes, I think the bright might be the buttons.
I like
I've
it.
got a picture in my head.
Yeah. We're still just stuck. I'm like, what would a bright look like? Well, I'm happy to say that I'm out of my sewing slump.
Lucky you.
As of this morning. So that was great. I woke up this morning and I sewed. Right now, kind of my SewJo is just like my work project. So I'm working on a pattern, and I just kind of I don't know. Just I've had I've kind of fluctuated in size of the winter, and I'm just like not interested in sewing for myself right now, and I'm just like feeling self-conscious and stuff. But that's like, I hate that I even feel like that because it shouldn't even
It
matter.
happens,
But just
so.
like the little thing, it's like. But so I'm just like going into work mode, which is great. But I just sewed, I had a pajama top cut out. I cut it out last year and it was already, the pattern pieces were pinned to it. I said, you know what, I'm just going to sew this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I missed it. I just like the sound of the machine and like the steam from the eye. Like it was like it all came flooding back. And now I'm so excited to just like cut. And so like, I just feel like I'm going to be sewing all night.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a mock-up of my of what I'm working on, and I'm just like really excited. So yeah, work stuff is my SewJo. So that's good. Yeah. So now let's hop into our sew and tell. So last week we asked you what has your no pattern experience been like? So we had a really fun episode about sewing with no patterns, and we got lots of great feedback. So we're gonna go ahead and read some.
I can kick us off.
Yeah. Kick us off, Amanda.
We heard from Charms Walks on Instagram, who said, I learned to sew without patterns. I was afraid at first and then finally took the dive. I don't enjoy cutting patterns, and I have yet to try a really complex one with a lot of pieces. That's really true.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I definitely get intimidated if there's a bazillion pattern pieces to cut and tile together.
Yep, definitely. All right. We also heard on Instagram from the Craftsman, who said, my last me make was done without a pattern. I have yet to post pics, but it was so easy. I made a beach cover up the same way too a while ago. Based on those two makes, I kind of love not using a pattern. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice break.
Maybe I'll do a
Nice.
no pattern bright black white now. Now it's just getting too crazy.
Yes.
It's wild.
Do it.
It's wild.
Wild. And then we had a comment from Chloe Montrose, and they said anyone interested in sewing without patterns should check out at Chilo Bali. Please excuse me if
I think it's Chinelo Bali or Bali.
Yeah. And her fantastic book, Freehand Fashion. She was on the Great British Sewing Bee using her incredibly skillful technique that effectively creates the pattern directly on the fabric. It makes so much sense to use your own body measurements as the starting point for sewing garments perfectly fitted to you. No FBAs, full bust adjustments, no forward shoulder adjustments, or lengthening bodices. I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'll definitely have to check out that book.
I think I might have a copy of it here at the office.
Oh,
I'll have to
cool.
look at
really?
Check it out.
Yeah.
I should check my bookshelf, see if I'm crazy or not.
Yeah, yeah. We'll link it also in the show notes.
Yes.
So this week we are going to ask you, in addition to obviously doing your sew your role,
Exactly.
what's your favorite and least favorite color to sew with? And again, keep an eye on our Instagram feed. We'll be having an informal convo about color analysis after this show.
And you can find all of those roll charts.
That's
as
right.
well.
Exactly. Come on over to our Instagram feed. We've got a lot of fun things for you.
Yeah, come play with us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was such a fun show.
Yeah, that was fascinating.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm really excited about my project.
Good,
I want to
I'm
make
glad.
it really good for you guys.
I'm going to make something. and that's good because I haven't made much of anything
There
all
you go.
year. So this is going to force me into
I know.
actually sewing something.
Yeah.
And maybe like Meg, once I get the steam from the iron and the hum of the sewing machine, I'll be back on.
Yeah,
I love it.
It feels good. Good to be back.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Hashtag sew your roll. Happy stitching.
Happy stitching.
For links to everything we talked about in this episode, go to our show notes page at sewdaily.com/sewandtell. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at sewandtellpodcast@goldenpeakmedia.com or visit us on Instagram at sewandtellpod. Answer the Sew and Tell question, tell us your SewJo, or just leave us some feedback. If you enjoyed our show, please subscribe on your podcasting platform of choice. And please leave us a review, ideally a good one, because that helps listeners like you find our podcast. And tell your sewing friends about us too. Thanks for listening, and happy stitching. Sew and Tell is produced by Meg Healy, Amanda Carestio, and me, Kate Zaynard. Our consulting producer is Ron Doyle, and our executive producer is Jared Mayer.